This is Hamp Lee III from Spiritual Combatants, where we're training soldiers for Christ. I want to thank you for joining me on today's message. Today, I want to talk about being faithful in the few things. I'm going to talk about the parable of the talents going in Matthew 25. So let's get right into it. Matthew 25, 14 and 30. Now, I'm going to read the entire set of verses just to kind of give you what it is in context, but I'm not going to break down each area or each section that Jesus speaks about. But I do want to read the whole thing because I do want to say that, hey, I did read it in context, just make sure you understood the entire parable, but I just want to focus on one particular area. So let's get into it. So verse 14, chapter 25, Matthew says, "For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1. To every man according to his several ability. And straightway he took his journey. Then he that had 5 talents, or received the 5 talents, went and traded with the same, and made them other 5 talents. And likewise he that had received 2, and he also gained other 2. But he that received 1 went and digged in the earth and hid his Lord's money. After a long time, the Lord of those servants cometh and reckoneth with them. And so he that received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more. His Lord said unto him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of the Lord. He that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliver unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them. His Lord said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of the Lord. Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and I went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast that is thine. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I reap where I have not sown, and gather where I have not strawed. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at thy coming I should have received mine own with usury. And that's with interest. Take therefore thy talent from him, and give it to him which hath 10 talents. For everyone that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Now, in the parable of the talents, you have 3 men that each receive a talent. And so I want to kind of break down. I'm only going to focus on the one that received the 5, and I'm not going to focus on the 1, but I just want to focus on 5. It could be the 2 as well, but I just want to focus on the 5 for a moment and provide 5 quick points about how we, as we're reading the psalm, or not the psalm, but as we're reading this parable, how we can glean from it and be faithful over the few things so that we may become a ruler over many things in eternity. So in number 1, God gives each of us a talent. Each of us receives some type of talent. Now, in the parable, the talent represented money. But for each of us, God could give us money, but I want to expand our thinking to also consider there's a talent that he gives us, actual a gifting, or you know how to do something, you know how to draw, you can paint, you can weld really well. It's something that he gives you in that area. He may give you a responsibility. You may be a father, a mother, you may have a specific job that you have. There's something that God gives you in this life that you would have to live out. And we all have that. There's many different roles, many different responsibilities, many different talents and gifts that we all receive as people. And even if you say, I may not even have a gift, there's plenty in the Word that you can use to execute as a disciple of Jesus Christ. So that's the first thing. God gives each of us a talent. Number 2, God gives us a talent based on our own ability. And so we can't compare notes and say, well, why does this person have this? Why does that person have that? And look at what I'm going through. That person has more or less. God gives you a talent based on your ability. He won't give us too much or more than we can bear. Even though sometimes, and I've said it here recently, that it feels like at times I'm reaching my maximum weight of what I can bear. It feels like I'm getting like ounces close to what my maximum load is, but he still will not give us more than what we can handle or more we can bear. But each of us, he chooses based on our own ability. And it doesn't mean a person is weaker or stronger than another person. None of that matters. That God in his sovereignty chooses to give you a specific gift, to give you a specific responsibility. He gives you a certain opportunity. These are things that he gives you based on your ability. And so these are those few things that he may give you. So in question number 3, let's get into this. The talent here represents a responsibility. And when you have a responsibility, just like the parable, just like the servant that received 5 talents, he went out as a responsibility. I'm going to go out and I'm going to gain 5 more. I'm going to try to gain as much as I can. I have a responsibility to make sure that whatever I receive, it comes back with interest. That I have a responsibility to protect it, to provide for it, and to make the best use of what God has given me. Each of us have that responsibility. If I'm a father, then I'm going to be the best father. I have a responsibility because I have a child or children, and I have to raise them up in the admonishment of the Lord. I'm going to bring them up in the way that they should go so that when they become old, they will not depart from it. That's my responsibility to do that. It's my responsibility as a worker. Then if I'm going to work, I have a responsibility to make sure that I do my job with excellence, that I do my job in such a way that I'm always glorifying him. Whether I eat or drink, no matter what I do, I'm doing it for the glory of God. I work for him. I'm making sure that the responsibility he's given me, I'm going to use it. God gives me a talent to draw, then I'm going to draw. I'm going to make sure that I'm using my talent to benefit others, to be able to glorify God. I'm bringing back something with interest. I'm bringing back something that doubles on what God has already given me. That's my responsibility, and that's your responsibility. These are the few things that God has given us. So in question number 4, as I said, there's a little bit of an overlap, not question number 4, but statement 4 is that we have to work to bring a return on what God gave us. When we read the parable, we see that he had 5 talents and gained 5 more. But think about what it takes to be able to double up, to receive double of what you originally received. Even in our own lives, think about if you were investing or any type of project that you put some energy or effort in to see a response. Even if you're a playwright and you're writing for a play, you want to have a response come back from that. The work and the hours that it takes. Sometimes you're not always going to get the right answer, or the answer that you want. Sometimes you're going to hear 1,000 no's, and 1,001 you're going to get a yes. That means you have to receive all of that negative feedback, all the rejection, and keep going and pushing and have that perseverance, that being able to stick-to-itiveness to be able to stay in that thing so that you can get the yes. That I've gotten 1,000 no's, but I'm gonna keep trying. Sometimes people are going to come against you. There's some work that goes into trying to bring back interest. It's not going to be just roses and peaches and everything's going to be good. It doesn't happen. But that means I'm going to have to be committed. I'm going to have to show patience, determination, diligence. I may have to study. I'm going to have to use wisdom and exercise keen judgment to see what's going on. I'm going to have to gain knowledge and understanding. So everything that we do, then we want to say, I want to bring back an investment. I want to bring back double of what I came in with. I want to make sure that I'm increasing the value of everything that I touch, that I'm going to make deliberate and intentional impacts. I'm going to feed, and I'm going to bring my hands on these things so that others may benefit from it. That is my purpose. I have a purpose. I'm intentional in what I do. And that's how we have to do things. And these are the few things that God gives us, to be faithful over the few things. These few things that God gives us, that we're faithful to him. They're a faithful father, mother, husband, wife. I'm faithful. And that's going to mean that sometimes that those responsibilities and the jobs and everything else you give, the people on the other end are going to be unfaithful. They're going to be ungrateful, unthankful. They're going to come against you, and they're going to hurt you, and they're going to offend you, and you're going to have to forgive and show mercy and kindness in spite of what they do. Why? Because you are going to stand before the Master. You're going to stand before our Lord and have the answer to everything that He's given you. And that's number 5. Number 5 is that God will identify your faithfulness. It's not man. And so many times we're focused on pleasing man when we should be pleasing Him. So we need to focus on pleasing Him and not all of them. We can't be focused on making sure that they're happy, because we're going to stand before God. And when I stand before God, I want to hear, "Well done, thy good and faithful servant." And I know you do as well. But that means there's going to be some work that's involved. That may mean there's going to be some tears that run down your cheek. There's going to be some days that you're going to have some hard times. And as Jesus says, in this life, as He was telling His disciples in John, that we're in this life, you're going to have tribulation. But take heart that He's overcome the world. There's something for us to look forward to and to hope in. So there's going to be some hard days. But there will be a day when He will wipe away my tears. He'll wipe away your tears. And there'll be no more death, no more crying, no more pain. All those things will be gone. And we can enjoy eternal peace with the Father. But we gotta be faithful over these few things. And we have to keep our eyes on Him and our eyes on what He's given us. And we have to be faithful, and we have to do the work, and we have to make sure that these few things that He's given us, that we will be faithful to Him. So I pray that God will bless you through this message. I pray you will review it again. If it's convicted you, that you'll share it with your friends. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please shoot me a message. And until the next time, may God bless you abundantly. God bless.